Types of hooks. 7 archetypes that always work. If you can't hook them, you can't hold them. No matter how powerful your story is, it won't matter if no one listens past the first 10 seconds. That's the job of a hook, to pull people in so they have to know more. And while creativity plays a role, there are timeless hook archetypes that always work. These aren't just tricks, they're patterns that speak to something deep in the human brain. Let's explore the 7 types of hooks that storytellers, speakers, writers, and content creators return to again and again, because they work. 1. I never thought this would happen to me. The shock hook. This hook opens with something unexpected, an event, realization, or twist that instantly makes the audience sit up. It works because it creates surprise, and surprise sparks attention. Example, I was laid off on my birthday. I thought it was the worst day of my life. Turns out, it was the best. Why it works. The audience wants to know why something so negative became positive. There's tension between expectation and outcome. Use this when your story has a major turning point. You want to flip a common belief or expectation. 2. I was at my lowest point. The vulnerability hook. This type of hook starts with raw emotion. It grabs attention not through shock, but through truth. People connect deeply to stories that start from a place of pain, failure, or doubt, because they see themselves in them. Example, I stared at the ceiling for 3 days straight, too ashamed to pick up my phone. Why it works? It's real. It immediately opens the door for connection, not just curiosity. Use this when your story centers on personal growth. You're sharing a hard-earned lesson. 3. I made one small change, and everything shifted. The transformation hook. This hook promises a before and after, and everyone loves a transformation story. It could be about mindset, habits, relationships, career, anything that shows real, tangible change. Example, I stopped saying yes to everything. Within 3 months, I got a raise, slept better, and felt like myself again. Why it works? It's relatable. Many people feel overwhelmed or overcommitted. It promises a possible path forward. Use this when your story teaches a lesson through action. You want to inspire change. 4. What no one told me about. The curiosity hook. This hook teases hidden knowledge. It suggests that the audience is about to learn something surprising, useful, or rarely said out loud. People can't resist a mystery, especially when it might help them avoid pain or gain something valuable. Example, what no one told me about chasing your dream is that it can quietly destroy your closest relationships. Why it works? It feels like an insider's confession. It sets up a knowledge gap, and the only way to close it is to keep listening. Use this when your story reveals a truth beneath the surface. You want to shift perspective or break a myth. 5. It all started with one question. The journey hook. This hook invites the listener into a story arc. It sets up a moment of decision or wonder that leads to discovery. The power here lies in narrative movement. You're not just stating facts, you're pulling people into a world. Example, I asked myself, what would happen if I disappeared for a week? That's how the whole thing began. Why it works? It's cinematic. We can see it unfolding. It makes us ask, what happened next? Use this when your story has a beginning, middle, end structure. You're sharing an adventure, experiment, or unexpected result. 6. I thought I knew the truth until this happened. The belief breaker hook. This hook leans into conflict between belief and experience. You begin with a conviction, and then show how life challenged or even shattered it. This works beautifully because it mirrors how people evolve, and listeners lean in when they sense someone is being honest about changing their mind. Example, I used to believe that working harder was the answer. Then I burned out, and no one noticed. Why it works? It's human. We've all been wrong before. It builds credibility. You're not preaching, you're sharing transformation. Use this when you want to change minds. Your story carries a deeper message about perspective. 7. This one moment changed everything. The snapshot hook. This type of hook focuses on one vivid scene. You don't explain. You drop the audience into a moment that carries tension, emotion, or significance. It works because it skips the build-up. No context, no setup, just action. Example, The phone rang. It was my father. He never calls. Why it works. It makes you feel like you're in the room. It immediately raises questions. Why is this unusual? What happened next? Use this when your story centers on a single life-changing moment. You want to start with cinematic impact. Which hook is right for you? There's no single best hook. The right one depends on the emotion at the core of your story, the journey you want to take the listener on, the message you want to leave behind. Ask yourself, am I telling a story of pain or a story of victory? Is this about breaking beliefs or finding truth? Do I want to inspire, warn, entertain, or teach? And remember, a great story often contains more than one type of hook throughout, beginning with one and weaving others in as you go. Final thoughts. Your hook isn't just an opening, it's a promise. Every hook is a promise. It says, I've got something real, something worth your time, something that might just stay with you. Use these 7 archetypes as tools, not formulas, to help you find the opening that feels true to your story and irresistible to your audience. Because when you start strong, people don't just listen, they lean in. I'm still learning these lessons myself, and if you're growing as a storyteller too, I would love it if you subscribed. We're in this together. Thanks for watching.